Obviously, it goes without saying that LaGrange and Troup County is the center of a major COVID outbreak, and we are doing everything we can to model best practices. Appreciate the city council members and the city staff taking the lead in doing that. We will begin tonight with an invocation that will be offered by Reverend Daniel Kim of the Korean Church of LaGrange, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So Reverend Kim, if you'll come to the podium to offer the invocation, and then I think Philip is going to have a virtual flag for us to pledge to, since there's not one in this room at the moment. We'll begin with the invocation. Please stand.
Let us pray. Heavenly God, our Father, thank you for the many blessings that LaGrange has. Gracious God, you know how we are all connected by family, friendship, fellowship, and faith. So I pray for these men and women in the LaGrange city government, the mayor's office, the commission, the police, firefighters, and all elected officers to be blessed by God, you. Give the leaders of our community the wisdom and the integrity to lead our city in the best direction. Give each of us discernment when making decisions or serving people. Please protect them in their line of duty so that they may protect us who have placed our trust in them. Father God, please protect our citizens in our community and those in the surrounding neighbors from the coronavirus. Teach us how your power and caring by healing people of all ages and stations of their life, from physical, mental, and spiritual alignments. Take away the fear, anxiety, and feelings of isolation from people who are receiving treatment. Protect them, their families, and friends, and bring peace to all who love them. In Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. If you will face the virtual flag that Philip has in the back and join with me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Council members have all been given a copy of the minutes of the regular council meeting held on June the 9th. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. And that passes unanimously. I am delighted tonight to have a very special recognition of a long-term employee of the city of LaGrange and a friend to all of us who serve in elected office here in LaGrange. I have, over the course of my years as mayor, had an opportunity to present many service pins, but I can't think of one more meaningful to me than the presentation tonight to recognize our longtime friend and city clerk, Sue Olson. So if I could ask Sue and the members of your family to come forward here to the front area. And to try and maintain the, I'll come around over there, trying to figure out how to maintain the distancing.
Your arms ain't 6 feet long.
I'll call on you in a minute. Okay. So, as I said, this is very special, and I think I have 6 gentlemen, and I'm also city manager, but I know I have all the members of the council would be in agreement with me when I say that, because Sue is the face of the city and has been such a great support to all of us who serve in elected office, not just currently, but even in the past. I've seen one of our former council members come in as well tonight. Glad to have her with us, Ms. Norma Tucker. But to tell our viewers as well as our audience a little bit about Sue. Sue came to work for the City of LaGrange in January of 1995 as Executive Secretary in the City Manager's Office. Over these last 25 years, she has continued to move into positions of increased responsibility. Most recently, she was promoted to City Clerk and is often referred to as the voice of City Hall. Her responsibilities include preparation of council agendas and minutes, administrative support for the city manager, the mayor, and the city council members, preparation of resolutions and proclamations, and overseeing our risk management claims. Sue was featured in an article in the LaGrange Daily News in 2016, Getting to Know Your Neighbors. She stated that the best part of her job is knowing every day is different and always a challenge. She loves helping people, whether it is a question about utility bills, requesting use of public parks, someone trying to reach the mayor. She is there with a smile to help. Not only has Sue been instrumental in the administrative offices of the city manager, she also worked part-time positions in the police and information technology departments. Her skill set has been valuable to all areas where she has lended a hand. She's always looking for a more efficient and effective way to get the work of the city performed. Sue loves being outdoors on the lake, boating, poolside, or at the beach. She also enjoys strolling on the thread, reading, and of course UGA baseball and football. Sue is a LaGrange native, born and raised here, a graduate of LaGrange High School. She is, got 4 out of 2, I think, for that. But she is the proud mother of Matthew and Jennifer and her son-in-law, Akshaw. But let's be clear, the light of her life is Asha. Come by City Hall anytime and you will hear a new story or see the cutest new picture. We are honored that they were here tonight to join us from New York City. Glad to have them down. So I mentioned the 25th anniversary, I guess, was actually in January, and we've delayed it for travel reasons and then Corona reasons, but I think this is it's an overdue recognition. The City of LaGrange is extremely fortunate to have Sue on our team and thankful for her long-term service over her last 25 years. Will you please join me in thanking Sue for her dedication to the city? Yay! Jennifer, I have the pen, and Sue mentioned that you might be willing to do the honors. Sue, if you'll hang out for just 1 minute, and maybe if you'd like to, I'm sure some of the council members might like to join in a word. So if you might want to, we turn and face the council and see. Dr. Gore, or Nathan, you.
Yeah, what can we say? I mean, just can't talk about everything that Sue has done. She's always there to support us and tries to make us look good, which is kind of hard sometimes. But we appreciate it. Appreciate everything you've done for so many years, and just hope we keep going for a long time to come.
I can't promise 25
Thank you, Sue. You're amazing, because I have yet to have a question that you couldn't answer or find the answer to. So thank you for what you do for us.
Come back to Nathan.
Thank you so much for everything that you do for the city. And since I joined the council, I can honestly say that if you can make me look good, you can do it. Thank you.
Sue, I simply want to say thank you. You're one of the only people that I know that you can call City Hall. I don't care what it's for. You're always the same. I don't care how big or how small. Thank you for being there and making us do stuff on time. Because I know we get on your nerves. But you are a jewel. You are a rare find. And I'm sure City Manager Mayor Kelsey and the staff realize just how valuable you are. So we say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We should have had dinner.
Miss Sue, there's really not much else I can add from what everybody's saying, but my short time here on council, I appreciate you keeping me in line. Thank you.
Well, I could go way back in the 1970s. Sue and I worked together many years at the hospital together. And the reason Sue is so nice because she had a nice mother. Her mother was just a genuine person. And so Sue has carried that same tradition on by just being nice also. So thank you, Sue. And once again, thank you for keeping us in line, especially me, because I don't ever get my paperwork in on time, but you always nudge me and help me to do it. So thank you so very much. And that little grandbaby of yours, I can just put her with the rest of mine. We'll share together.
City Manager, Ms. Kelsey.
Sure. So like the mayor and council are my bosses, Sue's also my boss. She keeps me on task. I often refer to her as my right hand. She makes sure, that everything is rolling along, being taken care of. And I just can't say enough great words about her and how intelligent and smart she is. I can pretty much hand something off to her and not worried about it getting done. She's just a tremendous asset. And I just want to tell you how proud I am of you for your work. When we moved you into this clerk position, she's very serious about it. She's going through the GMA program now to become a certified clerk. And so I'm super proud of her for taking that initiative and just know that she wants to do all that she can do to serve the citizens of LaGrange, the mayor and council, and me, and know from my heart how much I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank Meg for trusting me, for believing in me all of these years, and allowing me to do the things that I have done. And she has always been there for me. She's made it easy for me. So I just want to thank her for always being there. And I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, and all the council members. Y'all have always got my back. So thank y'all. I appreciate everything that y'all do for me.
Thank you, Sue. And we do have one former city council member, Ms. Norma Tucker, here, and I'm going to put her on the spot. And I know she has something she'd like to say.
Well, in keeping with the tradition, Sue, I could not get here on time. So, these roses were just a small thank you from me and Jacob, and for all that you've done for me over the years. And again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so proud to finally get to see your little angel in person. And thank you doesn't say enough to express just how much I appreciate you always saying yes, and always, as I said, keeping us on task, even for those of us who like to drag our feet. So I just want to say thank you and share a small token of appreciation, and I'll wait until but thank you, Sue, for all that you do and for the years of service, not only to us as a body, but to the entire community. So we thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, it's an honor to be here to celebrate.
Can we get one picture without the mask?
Do you want us in this picture, or is this just family?
Is this family, or do you want with the...
I'd like for y'all.
Okay, y'all want to stand and maybe just behind, yeah.
Felt like you were going through there, didn't you?
Show off.
Yeah.
Come on, get in this picture.
I'm in this picture.
Ready?
I'm taking my mask off.
Okay.
Wait, stay down.
Hold on, I was holding my breath when I did that.
One more.
All right, ready? 1, 2.
Let's give Sue another round of applause. We do not have any public hearings or delegations. Under reports, do we have any city council members who have anything to report tonight?
No report.
No reports. Okay. We will move on to the city manager report. Mrs. Kelsey.
Yes, sir. Just one tonight. Kathy Tilley, who's the new president of Visit LaGrange, presented her budget for 2021 this morning. Staff would recommend council to approve those revenues and expenditures.
Would approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Visit LaGrange budget. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. And that passes unanimously. Under anything else, Mrs. Kelsey?
That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Under resolutions, we have a resolution for the language access plan for the innovative grant. Kelsey?
Yes, sir. Alton's going to get up and briefly review that.
Thank you, Ms. Kelsey. Good evening to Mayor, members of the council. And if you will recall from our work session this morning, we do have on the agenda this evening a resolution to adopt a language access plan, which is part of our innovative grant that we were awarded back in May. This is just one of the 3 special conditions that we have to have addressed within the 60-day period in order to get it back to get our grant application started. And basically, the language access plan is a plan to show how the city of LaGrange will address the limited English-speaking population within our community. And as I told you earlier this morning, we did look at the American survey, looking at a 5-year trend. And in that survey, we show that we have Spanish-speaking at 413, other European at 372, and of course, Asian Pacific Islanders at 438, which puts us over the 5% threshold, which requires us to have this language access plan in place. It's similar to language access plans that have been submitted previously to DCA for CHIP grants and other CDBG grants. So if it's your pleasure to adopt a resolution so that I can turn this around back to DCA. Be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions for Mr. West? If not, is there a motion to approve the
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the access plan. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. And that passes unanimously. We do not have any first reading of ordinances tonight, but we have a number of second readings. And in the absence of the city attorney, the city manager is going to read the ordinance. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mayor.
Okay.
Jeff is on the phone
But
with
the
us
city attorney
tonight.
is on the phone by telephone, but because of the
correct.
sound issues and all of that, the city manager will read the ordinances. So we have a second reading of an ordinance adopting the 2020-2021 budget.
Provide for the adoption of a budget containing estimates of proposed revenues and expenditures for the city of LaGrange for the 12-month period beginning July 1, 2020 and ending June 30, 2021, to provide for separability, to fix an effective date, to repeal conflicting ordinance, and for other purposes.
Would approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the 2020-2021 budget. Any discussion? And just for clarification for the record, the budget is presented as it was amended by the council in work session
Yes, sir.
this morning.
Yes.
To hold the $50,000 in abeyance. So,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I have communicated with Dash, and they will be here on July 14th.
Okay. Any other discussion about the budget? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. And that passes unanimously. We have a second reading levying an ad valorem tax for 2020.
And just as a reminder, this is a rollback of our sales tax, so there is no ad valorem tax for the city of LaGrange. To levy an ad valorem tax for the city of LaGrange for calendar year 2020, to provide for separability, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix effective date, and for other purposes.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the ordinance. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. That passes unanimously. We have a second reading amending the retirement plan.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the retirement plan for the employees of the city of LaGrange in accordance with and subject to the terms and conditions set forth in the attached adoption agreement, the General Municipal Employees Benefit System GMAB's master plan document, and any amendments thereto, to modify the plan to include the city attorney, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. And that passes unanimously. And we have a second reading amending the electric rate schedules.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the code of the city to amend section 20-5-4 regarding electric rate schedules, to modify the electric service rate schedules for residential electric service, commercial electric service, and general electric service, to repeal conflicting ordinances and to fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
Would approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. That passes unanimously. We have an ordinance to provide for non-discrimination in city services.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the code of the city to provide for non-discrimination in employee as it relates to certain classes, to provide for non-discrimination in city services as to certain classes, to provide for non-discrimination by agencies and authorities of the city as to certain classes, to require non-discrimination policy acknowledgments by city employees and appointees, to provide for non-discrimination statements by city contractors, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
Would approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. That passes unanimously. We have a second reading of an ordinance to provide a provision for possession of 1 ounce or less of marijuana. There has been some discussion among the council and work session about the possibility of a substitute ordinance. The ordinance that appears for second reading is the original ordinance that we had the first reading on 2 weeks ago, which provides a $100 civil fine for possession without regard to tiering. The substitute ordinance that was prepared by the city attorney at the request of council would provide a city code violation that would have a tiering based on the number of offenses that was discussed in work session. If the council wanted to substitute the substitute ordinance, that would require a motion that would have to pass to read the substitute ordinance in lieu of the original ordinance. If there is no such motion, then I will ask the city manager to proceed with the second reading of the original ordinance. Okay, so we'll proceed with the reading of the original ordinance.
Okay. An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange to amend the code of the city, to add a provision relating to the possession of 1 ounce or less of marijuana, to set the maximum punishment thereof, to provide for training for LaGrange police officers, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
Would approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no?
No.
Okay, so let me go back and ask for a show of hands. So all in favor, raise the right hand. Okay, that's 4 in favor. All opposed, now raise the right hand. And that's 2 opposed. So the ordinance passes by a vote of 4-2. We will move on to the second reading to provide for enhanced penalties for certain violations motivated by hate.
An ordinance of the mayor and council of the city of LaGrange, Georgia, to amend the code of the city, to amend Chapter 5 of the code to provide for enhanced penalties for certain code violation evidencing motivation by hate, to provide for the collection and dissemination of investigatory data by and for law enforcement agencies, to repeal conflicting ordinances, to fix an effective date, and for other purposes.
Would approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
I'd like to discuss. Ms. Kelsey, the way I understand it after speaking to Mr. Todd at our last work session, that this ordinance will apply to everyone and which also includes the police. That's my understanding. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Councilman Gaskin just pointed out to me, just for the record, that the state legislature this afternoon passed the hate crimes legislation at the state level by overwhelming majorities as well.
So we're late?
Huh? It hasn't been signed by the governor yet, so we can beat them to it.
Okay.
but they have done that. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. And that passes unanimously. We have no more ordinances to review. We do have a board and agency appointments for Visit LaGrange to fill the unexpired term of Terrence Garrett. The council has previously discussed, since Mr. Garrett was the hotel manager at the Courtyard by Marriott, the idea was to appoint another hotelier to the Visit LaGrange board, and the suggestion from the council was Chris Lutz, who is the new manager of the Great Wolf Lodge, having been on the job 3 months or so now. Is there a motion by the council?
Motion to appoint?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Chris Lutz to the Visit LaGrange board. Is there any discussion?
I would ask, does it have to be a person who is a resident of the city of LaGrange?
I don't think it does, but he actually is living at the lodge, because he told me that it was like living in what's the Jack Nicholson movie with the empty hotel? The Shining. The Shining. He said it was like living in The Shining for a month or so, but I don't think it does. I don't think
I'm in favor of it,
yeah.
But I just thought maybe Ms. Kelsey will double check that and make sure there's no.
Yeah, we will. Obviously, if I just don't remember us creating that as it's something we created. It wasn't created like by state law, which typically sometimes they do that. So I have a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Lutz to the Visit LaGrange board. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. And that passes unanimously. Is there anything else that needs to come before the City Council tonight? Any council members?
I just wanted to say Reverend Kim has a preacher voice, and we're glad to have him, and I was really elated to hear him tonight with that voice that came out, and so I know his parishioners are very happy to have him as well. So thank you for being here.
In our last meeting, we had a very, very good discussion about race relations, and I want to take this time to actually put on blast the Thread board so that they can actually do some studies and get that wow factor in District 2 as well as they have in District 1. I just want to put them on notice that we're watching.
We will ask the city manager to communicate the council's concern. Anything else? Okay, Ms. Van Schuer?
I do have good news today. Much needed good news. The city of LaGrange, we have 3 interns for this summer. We are socially distancing, require them to get their temperature checked and wearing face masks. Winton Hurd, Chloe Harrell, and Jordan Parati. Winton is the son of Randall, a former LaGrange firefighter, and Valerie Hurd. He graduated from Auburn University, and he's shadowing Alton West on City Week. He's already hosting city scenes, and he's doing a great job. Chloe Harrell is a rising junior at LaGrange Academy. Jordan Parati, she's a rising senior at LaGrange High School. They're very interested in the animals. They want to be veterinarians. They want to help the animals. So they're going to help us give social media updates on the adoptable animals. So we're going to be focusing on that for 6 weeks. And then after that, we're going to have them present to y'all July 28th. So they'll come and talk about their experiences, and we're very proud of our interns. We're also excited to be a part of the Mass Troop County campaign. We've been working with Dennis Knight from Emergency Management and District 4 Public Health. We're trying to help them hand out 60,000 masks. And I think they said about 45,000 they've handed out. LaGrange Police, of course, our chief is awesome, and Sergeant McCoy. They always work really well with us in community outreach, and Sergeant McCoy, he took about 9,000, and we've been handing them out at the police department. We've been handing them out through customer service. Thank you, Patrick. And also City Hall. So we're working with all the organizations, the Chamber, the Ark Refuge, LaGrange Housing Authority, Company Dash, the Chamber, so many other businesses, Lee and Tiara. We've been really working together to see if we can help get the community masked. So we're really working on it, and you can expect to see the churches getting involved as well. So we're really proud to be a part of that in helping to mask Troup County.
That's great. Great work and much needed work. But thank you very much for that report. Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to let Councilman Tammy comment about District 2.
If you will be brief. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Lee Jones. I'm the Secretary Treasurer for Calumet Park Neighborhood Association. And to address your concern, Councilman McCamey, about the thread in District 2, Calumet Park is working with the thread and other partners to put historic trail markers along District 2's part of the thread. So we will be working with the city and other community partners to increase the usage of the thread in our community. So I just wanted to let you know that that is coming, sir.
That's great information, Lee. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for all that you do in the Calumet Park neighborhood. So, we stand adjourned.